Coming up on today's Airborne, the Snowbirds will perform at the Oregon International Air Show. Danbury Aerospace announces its new business unit, and P-38 Lightning at the Evergreen Museum is up for sale. Welcome to Airborne on Aero TV. I'm Ashley Hale. The Canadian Snowbirds jet demonstration team is unusual and spectacular. The 11 aircraft team flies jet trainer planes rather than combat aircraft, and their air shows replace the brute force of combat maneuvers with the sheer artistry of formation flight. Organizers of the Oregon International Air Show thought they had lost the Snowbirds as their headline act due to budget cuts. But just weeks after saying it would not be able to perform at the 2014 event, the team announced that the Hillsborough-based show was back on the schedule, as were the rest of its planned U.S. performances. Needless to say, the air show organizers were happy to report this. The Oregon International Air Show is scheduled for September 19th through the 21st, and it's one of 4 planned appearances in the United States in 2014. If you have a chance to see the Snowbirds perform, don't miss it. Home-built airplanes and light sport aircraft create a fertile field for engine development. This field is now being plowed by Danbury Aerospace. They announced their completed engine business has been spun off into a new and separate company, Titan Aircraft Engines. It's based in San Antonio, Texas, and is moving to its own facility and staffing up quickly to meet current and expected demand. Over 1,600 customers have already benefited from Danbury's engine kit program, which was launched several years ago through ECI, the distribution arm of Danbury Aerospace. In early 2013, ECI started offering to assemble and do run-in testing for their kit customers. This business has taken off with the recent agreements with Cub Crafters, Vertical Aviation, and 5 other OEM manufacturers. Danbury Aerospace has hired Kevin Eldridge to lead the new business to focus on customer service, branding of Titan, and expanding the product offering for the home-built and LSA marketplace. You're watching Airborne. We'll be back after these messages with more news and our feature of the day.
ADS-B will be mandatory for most aircraft by 2020 in the United States, but you can benefit from ADS-B today with the Bendix King KT-74 Mode S transponder. The KT-74 meets the global mandates for ADS-B out when attached to a suitable WAAS GPS. Over the past 2 decades, no resource has compiled as much expert-valued information about the sport plane world than the Sport Plane Resource Guide. Over 1,500 pages, hundreds of aircraft, dozens of how-tos and directories. All this and more will be coming to the sport aviation world soon with the new, all-electronic and updatable Sport Plane Resource Guide for your iPad, iPhone, Kindle, tablet, PC, or other electronic devices. Get your order in now. www.sportplane.com.
Welcome back. If you'd like to suggest a story for Airborne, Aero TV, our website, or podcast, drop us an email to news-by@aero-news.net. Have you ever dreamed of owning your own fork-tailed Devil, also known as a Lockheed P-38 Lightning? Well, now's your chance. Under a cloud of bankruptcy, airplanes at the Evergreen Aviation and Space Museum in McMillanville, Oregon, are being sold one by one, and now it's a flyable 1945 P-38L Lightning, and it's been placed on the block with a price tag of $6.75 million. The P-38 is being listed by Platinum Fighter Sales of Redondo Beach, California. Broker Simon Brown said it's a shame that the airplanes have to be sold, and that the company has already had several inquiries about the aircraft. Brown said the Lightning is one of the only 7 in airworthy condition known to exist, and will go sooner rather than later. The L model of the P-38 was a late variation produced in 1944, and we're sure it has all the goodies you could want. And now it's time for our Aero Video of the Week.
should it pull?
Final liftoff of Atlanta.
If you ever plan to shut down the engine and feather the prop on a B-25, you need to pay attention to this video. Search B-25 feather sequence on YouTube. The Commemorative Air Force has added Adam Smith to its staff as the Executive Vice President of Strategic Development. In this role, Smith will oversee the execution of CAF's Air Base strategy to include leading the design, funding and construction of the CAF National Air Base, and ultimately the oversight of the existing and future air bases. Smith comes to the CAF with extensive experience in aviation attractions and events, having worked at the Experimental Aircraft Association for 11 years in key management positions. Prior to his arrival in the United States, Smith was the curator of the Museum of Flight at the National Museums of Scotland. Smith said, quote, "I bring a deep passion for the aircraft flown by the CAF and the important message they carry. I'm simply thrilled by this opportunity to help the organization move to the next level of success." End quote. We at ANN congratulate our friend Adam Smith on his appointment to this important position as we look for good things to happen with the CAF. You're watching Airborne. More in a moment.
Since the early days of powered flight, pilots have struggled with landing in crosswinds and learning proper crosswind landing techniques. Even today, most crosswind landing skills are learned through trial and error, sometimes with disastrous results. Believe it or not, the most common contributing factor in weather-related accidents each year is crosswinds. The second most common factor is wind gusts. In fact, crosswinds and wind gusts cause more landing accidents than fog, thunderstorms, and icing combined. That's where the Redbird X-Wind SE comes in. It teaches pilots the proper techniques to meet and beat these top two causes of weather-related landing accidents. By placing pilots in gusty crosswind conditions for extended periods of time, the X-Wind SE gives instructors all the time they need to teach the pilot the proper techniques for landing in challenging crosswind conditions. For more information on Redbird flight simulations, the Redbird X-Wind SE, and Redbird's entire line of flight training devices, visit www.redbirdflightsimulations.com.
Welcome back. If you'd like to be a supporter of Airborne, Aero TV, our website, or podcast, drop an email to jim@aero-news.net. According to the new market research report, the market for small electrically powered UAVs designed for special use is expected to grow by almost 22% and reach a value of $582.2 million by the end of 2019. Despite around-the-world budget cuts, the UAV market is booming according to the report, and lots of money is being spent on the research and development of small UAVs. It also anticipates that changes in technology will ensure significant growth in this market. The report goes on to provide a detailed and complex analysis of the UAV industry around the world. The bottom line is, small UAVs are here to stay, and their usefulness in numerous areas of the public and commercial sectors is going to grow. We at ANN believe the FAA is behind the power curve on this application of this new technology. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, and it's here to stay. It's common in aviation accident lawsuits for suits to be brought against any entity that is even remotely connected to the accident, if they have liability insurance. A bill under consideration in a subcommittee in the Georgia House of Representatives would offer cities the same protection from lawsuits stemming from aviation accidents as is afforded to counties. Georgia counties are protected from such suits, but cities are not. The measure is in response to an accident that occurred in February of last year, in which an airplane went down at Thompson-McDuffie Regional Airport in Thompson, Georgia. The city is named in resulting lawsuits. The mayor of Thompson, Ken Usry, is concerned that jury awards or settlements could exceed the $5 million in insurance that the city has and could be, quote, financially devastating for the city. This according to a report in the Augusta Chronicle. If the measure is passed, the new law would not apply to the existing case, but would provide protection for Georgia cities in the future. Well, that's our program. Remember to get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Please remember, Airborne is streamed 3 times a week and is always online. Join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoon for a new edition of Airborne. I'm Ashley Hale. Thanks for watching.